Country Confidential.
Just to kick things off, kind of give me a backstory. I mean, I know you grew up in Alaska, which is like super bizarre. But yeah, talk to me a little bit about your upbringing around music.
Well, so my parents are veterans. My mom and dad were in the Army for 10 years. So that's why I was born in Alaska. And I was introduced to music through basically a program they created because I was born 2 months early and I was supposed to be developmentally, like I was supposed to have a lot of delays. But my mom, she went to her professors, her psychology professors. They came up with a music program. So they played different genres for me every week for I don't know, until maybe I was like 4 or so. And that is why I have such a wide eclectic, that's why I listen to so many genres. We'll just say it that way.
I love it.
That's why like you can hear a lot of different influences in my music, whether it's, like rock, electric, a lot of electric guitar, big melodies. That's all from all the different genres I listen to. So rock, country, blues, classical, all the things.
No, I love that. So fun. So because I know you said like, you know what I mean? You listened to music a lot until you were 4. So when did that passion to create your own music really start?
I think in terms of like being a songwriter and writing my songs, I started writing when I was about 16 or 17. But I've always known that I wanted to be an artist and a singer. It was never a question for me because I've always done it. But when I realized like, hey, other people write their songs, I want to write my songs too. Like I've always been an avid reader and a little bit of a nerd. So I was like, okay, I can take my skills, what I know about writing short stories and writing poems, and then just learn how to write songs. So that's what I did. And I started writing on piano, and the rest is that's how the journey began.
I love that. I mean, I've always been so jealous of, I grew up in a very musical family, but I feel like it skipped a generation. Like I love music, but don't ask me to sing. My mom made me stop playing the clarinet because I wasn't getting any better. So now I just get to talk to people about music, but you know what I mean? I know you said your mom, but like, who were some of these women that inspired you early on and that still inspire you with your music career?
Gretchen Wilson, definitely. Listen to Aretha Franklin, Beyonce, Christina Aguilera. Those are, I'm thinking of women specifically. That's just, there's so many. It's so hard. Adele, Jessie J. I'm going from like, when I was younger to now. It's countless. I feel like in my songs, I want to have like these huge choruses, and these things that are just massive. When you wonder, like, can I hit those notes like Whitney Houston? So those are a lot of women that have shaped my voice. Yolanda Adams. Yeah. Lady Gaga. It goes on and on and on.
Think for me, women outside the music industry. Are there any women in your life, in your family? Do you have maybe a story of a moment, you know what I mean, that you were like confiding in somebody, or was there a woman in your life, a little bit more personally, that really helped you kind of, I know like moving from Alaska to Nashville, I'm sure that was really tough. So was there a time that you really had to lean on a strong woman in your life for some advice?
My mom. Honestly, my mom all the time. I feel like even when I get advice from other people, it still comes from a different place when I talk to my mom. Also because she always drives me to be better, to overcome all the obstacles I feel like I'm facing. And she's always giving me great advice. At the time, sometimes I'm just like, are you sure about that? Is that really what you think I should do? But, as I get older and I listen to her more and more, I just realize all of the things that she's been telling me my whole life, just to listen to my parents' advice. But yeah, she's the strongest person that I know, like hands down. It's not even a question to me. So
I love it. No, I feel the same with my mom. I had a conversation with her this morning and I had to be like, you were right. I'm sorry.
She's definitely shaped me so much. Like I've always been like really shy and a quiet person, and very introverted up until like 19. When I started going to LA to try and work with like different songwriters and producers, she was just like, how do you expect people to connect with you if you're not personable? If you can't go and have a conversation with people, that makes no sense. You want to be a superstar, I need you to go talk to people. I need you to connect with people. Like, what are you doing? And so I learned my lesson. And that's just one example of how, she's taught me so many different things.
Talk to me a little bit about your experience as a woman in the music industry. I know that there's challenges, there's, great triumphs. So talk to me a little bit about your experience as a woman in the country music industry.
Country music specifically, women aren't played as much as men. We all know this. It's been interesting for me because I've only been in Nashville for about 3 years. So my experience has been very different from a lot of the other women that I've talked to. So I have no record deal. I'm an unsigned artist. I don't have like a radio budget. That being said, when I released I released 67 Winchester and Stomping Grounds. And both of those songs have been played on radio, and I don't not consistently because I'm not a signed artist, but they have played my music more than a few times. So in my experience, people have opened their doors to me and have wanted to connect with me. But I know that it seems like to me that Nashville is changing, and a lot of women are definitely getting more, notoriety, more attention than before. But that being said, we still have we have a long way to go. But there's programs like how Leslie Fram, she created the Next Women of Country, which I was a part of 2021. And without programs like that, I wouldn't have had the visibility this year if it wasn't for programs like that, where she's making sure women have a platform in country music to be seen and to be heard. Sorry, I know that was kind of all over the place, but
no, I love it. I love it. I love all of it. Feel free to dump, man. I'm all about it.
I'm a shy speaker. Ask me to sing, and I'm like, no problem. Ask me to talk, and I'm like,
We're the opposite. I'll talk and you can sing. It's perfect.
Exactly.
It's perfect. No, and I love Leslie. She's great. So why do you think it's so important for women to have a platform in country music?
Why is it important for men to have a platform in country music? Everybody needs to hear our voices. Hands down. I mean, we're artists too. To me, it's so simple. It's so simple. And I just don't understand the reason why it's like this in country music specifically. In different genres, at least not to my knowledge, I don't see that same what would you call it?
Divide, I guess.
Thank you. Sorry. I was like, I'm not sure what to call it, but yeah, a divide. So I'm just still very confused as to why it's like this in country music. But
no, I couldn't agree more. So I know you mentioned you were a part of, the Next Women of Country.
Yes.
Tell me the story of how you learned that you were a part of that great group of girls.
Oh, actually, Mickey and Leslie, they both told me, I can't remember specifically who told me first, but I remember seeing Mickey, she sent me a video congratulating me on being inducted into the Next Women of Country. And she's like my sister. I love her so much. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is what I've been working for. And I remember specifically the year before, I just found out about Next Women of Country. I went to go see them in person right, before COVID. And I remember thinking I want to be on that stage next year. I want to be the next year's Next Women of Country class 2021, and managed to make that happen. But I remember just seeing everybody on stage and thinking I need to be on that stage next year. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but that needs to happen. And thankfully it did happen.
That's so exciting. I feel like if I got a call from Mickey Guyton, I'd be like, I'd lose my mind.
One of the sweetest people you'll ever meet. She is so kind and genuine. So yeah, she's amazing.
I love that. So talk to me about some of your goals with your music. Who are you looking to inspire? I know we kind of chatted about the lack of representation of
Mhm.
women voices in country. And I feel like there's a really great opportunity for women right now to inspire the next generation of women fans and women, singer-songwriters. So who are you hoping to inspire with your music?
I mean, anybody that my music touches, like for me, I've always wanted to inspire others, like all the artists and my idols who inspired me to create music. Like Chris Stapleton is the reason I wanted to be a country singer specifically. So like looking up to artists like him and Beyonce and Adele, who made me want to be the artist that I am. I want someone to be able to look at me and have that same feeling. And I want to inspire that same kind of drive and ambition into other artists. And to make sure people know that country music isn't just one thing. There's not just one representation of it. So that is my goal.
I love it. So talk to me a little bit about what's next for you. What are some of your goals that you have here for the rest of the year?
Mhm.
How are you going to use some of that fierceness, that women power, to get to that next level? Talk to me about some of your goals.
For the rest of the year. So I know right now I'm actually planning into like March of next year because we have so many things going on, like the Reba tour. But I've been recording so many songs and I can't wait to release them at the beginning of the year. And I've been working on multiple projects I'm not able to talk about now, but come 2022 first quarter, a lot of things are going to be happening that I feel like are life changing, and I'm really looking forward to those things. But as of now, it's for the rest of the year, it will mostly be songwriting and making sure I have all the material that I want to show the world. So that's my goal as of right now for the rest of the year.
I love that. And I always love to ask this question to the artists that I talk to. If you had to define your music and your style of country music to maybe a new listener, how would you describe it?
Fiery. I think a lot of people call me like a fireball, a shot of fireball or a firecracker. So I've started to maybe I'm just fiery. I'm gonna start calling all my music that, whether it's like a huge ballad or not, it's gonna be fiery because I'm singing it. So that's the term I'd use.
Country Confidential.